In this video, I'm going to be decorating a mug. This mug is made with a dark Yixing clay that's then covered with a light porcelain slip. You can see that I've made some vertical carving going from the bottom of the handle down to the foot. This divides the pot into sections, which then makes it much easier to lay out decoration. I'm going to put forest green linear strokes over the top section. This provides a strong diagonal to the honeysuckle decoration that I'll be doing on this. I'm going to vary these marks based on length and also on thickness. They're going to set up the rest of the decoration. The next step is to put the blossoms on the cup. I'm going to do this with a thicker brush. This gives me a much wider line on the actual cup. I'm going to switch colors here also. I'm going to put one yellow blossom here. I'm often setting up the blossom as the focal point of the decoration, so I like to change color to give it a little bit of variety. All of the dark green vines are also going to get small green leaves. The size of the leaf matches the scale of the blossom, so the smaller blossoms are going to get smaller leaves. This goes with the overall scale plan. Now you can see on the thicker green, I'm going to add much larger leaves. These brushstrokes with the light green underglaze are quick, very immediate. They're based off actual honeysuckle leaves, but they're not true exactly to the shape. It's more about making a gestural mark. I often go back and forth between holding the cup and then putting the cup down on a banding wheel. I find that spinning the wheel helps me to see the negative space all over the pot. So you can see in this example I'm building one side of the pot around the handle to have a really thick application of the decoration, and then the other side of the pot is totally bare. So you have a lot of tension through the decoration and then a lot of release through the open space. I'm going to go in and paint the inside of the handle with the same light green as the leaves. I found that turn of color really sets up the curve of the handle nicely. It also integrates the handle into the overall pattern. A lot of the handles that I make reference silver work, so they look like they're detached from the pot. So I want to try to integrate them by using the same color that's in the decoration. As I put on the underglaze on the inside of the handle, I'm trying to make sure that I get on 2 even coats. I'll often brush one coat horizontally, then let that dry, and then brush the other one vertically, so I cover up any brush strokes that are seen there. The underglaze that I'm using is by Chrysanthos. It's an Australian company that's producing in China. This is their leaf green. It's a really nice color, and it's a good contrast with the dark green. After all the decoration is applied, the underglaze is dried, and the whole thing has gone to like a chocolate leather hard. I'm going to go back in with a variety of tools and do Sgraffito. Right now I'm using a sharpened pen tool. Also occasionally will use a blunt pen tool that I have whittled down on an angle grinder so that I can get a thicker mark. One of the things that I find that's important with Sgraffito is that I move quickly. So you can see here when I'm using a thicker carving tool that I'm trying to move quickly to encourage gestural line quality. With both painting and the Sgraffito, I find it's extremely important to have confidence when I'm making lines. I don't want the marks to be hesitant. I also don't want them to be stiff. So I try to move with a little bit of grace and a little bit of quickness. As I'm carving through the layer of underglaze and also the porcelain slip, there's a small tail that gets created. This little crumb, if you try to knock it off now, will mess up the design. It makes the design muddy. So I leave that on until it's bone dry. Then I go back with a dry brush and brush it off. This can create some clay dust, so it's important to wear a respirator when you do this. When I'm carving the leaves on the lower bottom texture, I need to be a little bit careful. At this section of the pot, the walls are generally thinner, so I have to make sure that I don't push down too far and puncture the pot. There are times when I have to go back in and add a few more leaves to the decoration. In this case, this small one pulls the decoration farther to the right, adds a better asymmetric balance to the cup. Once everything is done, I'll slowly give it a turn, make sure everything's right, and then I'll let it dry. Because most of the decoration is done at this leather hard stage, my glazing is very simple. After I bisque this pot, I'm just going to dunk it in a clear glaze and fire it up to cone 6. This lets my Ishin clay have a nice warm toasty brown color, and it also allows me to have a good color response for my underglazes. This one's all done, so I'm going to go head back and put it in the kiln. When it comes out of the kiln, it's going to have a nice high gloss glaze like this teapot. Really helps the porcelain and underglazes to shine. It's going to be all ready to use. For more clay, culture, and travel videos, please visit carterpottery.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon.